Welcome to the Life 2.0 podcast. I'm Matt Jones, founder of Life 2.0, entrepreneur, and author with a passion to help others live their best life. The purpose of this podcast is to serve others and help them to realize their full potential by sharing ideas, concepts, and strategies for their mindset, health, emotions, finances, relationships, spirituality, and more. If you want to be happier, if you want to be more positive and live a life of abundance and prosperity, live without regret, learn what it takes to live a more fulfilling existence, discover your own purpose and passions, that's what we're about. You can listen to our podcast, read our blog, and download free tools and resources at www.life20movement.com. Join the community and upgrade your life today. Hello, Life 2.0 warriors. Thank you for joining me today for another podcast. Today we're going to be discussing 7 ways to help you build good habits and reach your goals. If you've ever struggled to build a good habit, if you've ever lost track of your goals, if you just expected more to be happening in your life by now, if you do struggle, it's okay. We all struggle with this. But the best way is to just reevaluate what your habits and routines are so that we can all live happy and productive lives. So please stay tuned and let's get into this. My name is Matt Jones, and this is the Life 2.0 podcast. All right, here we go. So let's talk about our habits and routines. Life can get very busy. It's easy to get off track. If we lack persistence, then life has a way of getting very messy. And we have to learn to make discipline and forming good habits a much bigger priority in order to stay on track with our life goals. Often it's not due to willpower, but really just a lack of direction and goals that don't really inspire us. Oftentimes if you really look back at things you wanted to accomplish, and you really think about what that was, if you did not have the passion to really back it up, if it was more just attached to logic, you're not going to get very far with it because there's not an emotion backing up that passion for our goals. So we need to take a very close look at our goals. They might just be very weak goals. So let's get into how we can build good habits and crush our goals. Okay, number 1, we need to create clear goals. The key to setting clear life goals, I think, is having clear outcomes. So this means being focused and specific. It's not enough to say, I want a better career. It's not enough to say, I want to be happier. It's not enough to say, I want more money. When you focus on lack, you're only going to get more lack. It's time to create solutions instead of focusing solely on the problems. Good goals are specific, measurable, and time-bound. So instead of saying, I want to lose weight, you say, I'm going to lose 30 pounds in the next 6 months by eating a clean, green diet and work out 3 days a week for 30 minutes. So you were specific and you gave it an end date. Instead of saying, I want to be happier, say, I'm going to be happier by removing negativity from my life. This could be people. This could be a certain class you go to or an event that might not be good for you anymore. A destructive habit that you do. So if you want to be happier, you remove the negativity. You can meditate 5 days a week. You can reconnect with old friends, over the next 30 days. Make it specific, reach out to those old friends you've lost touch with after so many years, right? So that is specific. It offered a solution to increase your happiness, and it has a timestamp. So this makes it more attainable. So number 1 is create clear goals. Number 2, create good habits. Creating good habits can be challenging. Nearly 50% of people actually give up on new habits and goals within the first week. So in order to create those good habits, let's start by defining what they are so that we can better understand them. Habits are regularly repeated patterns such as thoughts, actions, and behaviors. A good habit is consistent and it is repetitive. Examples of good habits are things like exercising, eating healthy, and abstaining from smoking. These habits make us live healthier and happier lives. So, this is why we must really work to stop bad habits, right? In order to maintain these things, we have to understand our values, though. If we value health, then these habits make it easier to maintain. When you don't place a value on your good habits, you're going to have a bit of what's known as cognitive dissonance in your subconscious beliefs, and they will just fall away from you. You may tell yourself something consciously, but subconsciously, if you have these limiting beliefs, these kind of shadow beliefs that you can't really convince yourself all the time. You have to really feel it and believe these things. So you might have to really question your values in this process and write those down. To create good habits, we have to believe in ourselves, truly value it, and then we can really execute it. Number 3, remove negative habits and temptations. So, temptations are like roadside bombs on your path to a better life. Staying clear of them is absolutely vital to your success. Temptations are associated with the old you and old habits. So, if you want to move into a new place of your life with a new way of life, a new way of being, then you have to learn those new habits. With old habits, you get old results. With new habits, you get new results, right? So if you want to get to a new place, you have to fight those temptations. And temptations can be anything that moves you further away from your goals. So this could be food, it could be people, television, Netflix, social media, video games, all sorts of things, right? Waking up late. So rather than making this a mental exercise, do yourself a favor and journal down all of your worst temptations. Give them a numerical value in order of least to worst. So 1 being the worst and least being 5. If you guys don't have a journal or a notebook to write with around you, it's just find a handy piece of paper, make a note on your phone. I also use an app called Penzu, Penzu. It's an online journal. It's an app, so you can just literally click on that, and it's a really easy format to do journals and everything. You can add pictures and make it visually appealing as well. So make sure that you are doing this exercise, you are writing it down. You have to see it, okay? You have to take this thought, put it into a physical form. It's a very therapeutic process, so make sure you're putting these down. Number 4, practice self-love. Okay, so this is very important. Self-care is self-love, and this is not selfish, okay? If we want to set ourselves up for success, then we need to focus on our own well-being. If you've ever heard the phrase, you cannot truly love someone else unless you love yourself first, this is absolutely true. If your well is dry and you can only give so much, you can only give so much to your relationship. You can only give so much to your business. You can only give so much to your job, right? To your community. You can only do so much. So self-care is vitally important. I do things like going out for a run. I meditate. I listen to music. And I just have time to myself. Even writing relaxes me. And, just sitting outside and just observing nature, going through a walk in the forest is so relaxing. All these little things just to give ourselves some clarity and vitality, and we can really show it better for our lives. Our brains take a lot of information in every day, and if you keep doing things for everybody else and not yourself, you're not going to have any brain power left, right? You need to build a self-care plan. So to increase your willpower for this, it is helpful to remind yourself of the importance of taking care of yourself. When we take care of our mental, physical, emotional well-being, we move into a deeper state of calm and focus. Because we feel better in ourselves, we are more prepared to take on larger tasks. Our mind is clear, our energy is abundant, we're more vibrant and happy as a result. Remember to get lots of sleep and drink lots of water. We got to stay hydrated. This naturally increases those happy feelings and really clears out our body of very bad toxins. So, self love, guys, very important. Number 5, seek help of others. So, when we get into the habit of self discipline, many of us try to take on the world, right, without really questioning our actions or our plan to get there. We think that we can always just smash our way through, the walls with, sheer willpower. And many of us can, and that is definitely possible. But it's always good to have some help. It's a bit like quitting smoking cold turkey. I've definitely struggled with this, and I have loved it in the past, and it's one of the hardest things that actually people can overcome. But when you do decide to quit cold turkey, it's an all or nothing mindset. And really, this can actually have a devastating effect on your goals because you start to develop a bit of a perfectionist attitude towards it. So if the whole process isn't perfect, you give up right away. You have a lot of shame and you're just done. And it's this perpetual cycle. What you resist persists, right? When you resist change, you're going to be persistently smoking. You're going to be persistently eating bad food. You're going to be persistently unhappy because you didn't make it to the gym. So don't be a perfectionist in this process. To compound the effects of your results, you want to make it realistic and somewhat enjoyable. Start small. Small results turn into big results. When you start experiencing smaller wins, it will increase your willpower. Willpower is like a well of water from which you take every once in a while. And if you take it all at once, you'll soon be left with nothing, right? So it's important to really pace yourself. We are creatures of habit, right? So we got to really pace ourselves and develop new routines. New actions equal new result. All right. So you got to become this person you want to be. You just got to become it. Stop questioning it. You just got to embrace it and become it. So the other thing with asking others to help you is that others will help you to remain accountable, right? So holding yourself accountable is one thing, but when you have other people who also hold you accountable, it really increases the effectiveness of the goals and self-discipline, because letting yourself down is fine, but when you let down other people, it's even worse, right? So talk about it with your spouse, talk about it with your friends, talk about it with your colleagues, parents, complete strangers, anybody you can get to really help keep you accountable. All right, number 6 is accept yourself. When we want to achieve anything of significance in life, it's important to take an honest and objective look at our present situation, right? We got to be brutally honest with ourselves, okay? But still accept ourselves, because no one is perfect. You want to embrace imperfection, okay? And really just learn to love yourself a little bit more and give yourself some credit for all the things you have accomplished, right? Self-discipline training is about being truthful with yourself, whether good or bad. If it's very bad, then people tend to judge themselves too harshly and end up being their own worst enemy, and they feel bad and end up quitting, right? Nobody is perfect. Changes don't happen overnight. We have to learn to be patient. Millions of people are most likely experiencing the same emotions and the same difficulties that you're going through. You're not alone in this. So learn to love your weaknesses as well as your strengths. When we learn to accept ourselves for who we are honest and truthful, then we can push forward with more realism. We could think more objectively and still move forward with love rather than a place of fear, or rather a place of shame. It's okay. When we love ourselves, we feel happy, right? When we love other people, in a relationship, you accept their faults. You accept those things that aren't, perfect or great, because you appreciate so many other things about them. So learn to appreciate all the things you value about yourself. All right, write those down. Stop being a perfectionist and thinking you have to be 100% perfect all the time. This is a belief that is instilled in us from the time we're very young. Don't ever make mistakes. You got to be perfect. All right. We need to get rid of these limiting beliefs and crush those. All right. And you'll be much happier and you will achieve your goals this way. All right. Life is messy. It is chaotic, but it is fantastic because it is life. Right? We're very lucky to be here on this earth experiencing everything. All right. You have to take the good with the bad. If you just try to deny the bad all the time, that's just unrealistic and you're always going to be unhappy. Embrace the bad as much as the good, okay? All right, number 7 is reward yourself. So rewarding yourself is a great way to use positive reinforcement. It's something to look forward to as you progress and you continue to work towards your goals. It takes a lot of work to, change your habits, to make change. Goals can move really slowly. So instant gratification is a really good way to keep you motivated. Depending on the goal will change the reward, right? So here are a few ways that you can kind of incentivize yourself. You can take a day off from work. Letting yourself relax is a good way to just recharge your batteries, and just do nothing. Just give yourself the gift of time. Also, have a cheat day. If you're exercising or eating really healthy all week, reward yourself by ordering your favorite takeout meal or, buying your favorite flavor of ice cream. I like Oreo ice cream myself. I like pizza, Chinese food, all those things. You can splurge, to incentivize yourself and have these things. Just make sure you're not incentivizing yourself every other day or, 3 days a week or 2 days because, you'll be really just undoing all the goodness that you just did. But, one part of the day on a Sunday afternoon, incentivize yourself a little bit, relax, okay? And it'll help you just, create a nice balance in your life. Another thing you can do is to buy yourself something. If you did really well during the week, reward yourself with something that you can buy online off Amazon, right? Something you could wear, something you could read, or you could watch. It's important to be proud of yourself. It's important to be proud of your accomplishments, right? It's important to be humble, right? But it's also important to have a sense of confidence. Nowadays, confidence is looked at as something that is greedy. Something that is, you see someone who's confident, people say, automatically right away that they're full of themselves, right? It's completely ridiculous. If you love yourself, that's okay. You're confident who you are. You don't be a dick, but you can still be a confident person, love yourself. And with that, you're going to be more likely to create good goals, good routines, and accomplish your goals because you believe in yourself. Belief is the foundation for your entire psychology. Often it's just belief and confidence that just what keeps us back from making changes, from moving forward. We tell ourselves these automatic stories in our head of our past, and we think that it's automatically going to equal our future. And that's not true. So I hope these were helpful to you guys. These are excellent ways to build those good habits and reach your goals. If you want more tips, go to the website, life20movement.com. There's stuff you can download, tools and resources. So love yourself, guys. Take care of yourself. Remember that the same actions will provide the same results. If you want new results, you got to do new actions. Take care of yourself. Love yourself. Stay motivated. Share love, share passion, and you will live an awesome life. All right. Thank you so much, guys. Lots of love. My name is Matt Jones, and this is the Life 2.0 podcast. I want to thank you guys again for listening to this podcast. If you enjoyed it and got some value out of it, please take a picture of it on your phone and share it on social media, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and also share it with your friends and tell them about it. And please leave us a nice review on iTunes or Spotify. Please remember to join the movement at www.life20movement.com. You can interact with other people like you, learn more about self-development products to really increase your life today. Thank you again for listening. It means so much to me, and wishing you guys all the best and success.